Say it's Friday night. Who's up? Friday night. This platform is about prosperous living. We're going to talk about prosperous living. No limitations, no doubts, no fears, no worries, no complaining, no judging unless it's righteous judgment, which means to think right about a thing. Coming from a different perspective about life, understanding that you are writing your story with your words. We're always telling a story. As one teacher says, a belief is just a thought you keep thinking over and over again. So if you want to form new beliefs, you must form new thoughts. And you get to tell your thoughts what to think. And you get to tell your feelings how to feel, because as another teacher says or reminds us, you are the operant power. You are the operant power. The moment you change the way you think and remain faithful to that new thought, your life will shapeshift. Your life will reconfigure. Your world will reflect back to you your new story. It's just that simple. I know it sounds simple because it is. It's not complicated. To the reasoning mind, to the logical mind, it wants to prove worthiness. You have to tell the logical mind, it's not about worthiness. It's not about deservingness. It's about, who do you say that I am? That's all it's about. It's only about you deciding who you are and what reality do you want to create. What reality do you want to experience in the here and now? And then remaining faithful to that decision, remaining faithful to that thought process, let your word be your bond. Let your word be your bond. Not what someone else is telling you, not what someone else is thinking, not what someone else is saying, but you. You alone get to decide. You alone get to dictate, right? The only thing you don't get to do is say how a thing is going to happen. That part is not your work. Your work is not to try to figure it out. Your work is only to decide what it is that you desire. That's it. And then tell the story from that state. If you're going to talk about it from the state of mind that says, I am that. I am that I am. I am whatever I'm deciding that I am. And then let it be. Let it be. Be still and know. Hey, 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 exclusive. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And so I reference the Bible because I use it as a reminder of the power that I am for no other reason. I only talk about the good stuff in the Bible. I get to the good part. I let all of the other stuff, I let everybody else have the quote unquote, negative point of view, for the lack of a better word, right? For the limiting or fear mongering. We're going to leave that to other people. And if we're going to utilize the Bible, we're only going to talk about the good stuff. Some people don't like that, and that's okay. Say that's a them problem, not a you problem. Some people like to talk about trials, tribulations, and difficulties. We're going to decide to talk about prosperous living because it's about leveling up. It's about leveling up your mind and letting go of challenges, difficulties, trials, tribulations, struggle. We're getting off the struggle bus. We're letting other people win the gold medal for the struggle Olympics. And we're going to decide to have a prosperous life. Because we came here to have life and that more abundantly. We came that our joy may be full. We came to have the peace that surpasses all understanding. And we're not going to get that always talking about fear, doubt, limitation, negativity, complaining, being disruptive. None of that. It only hinders you. But here's the thing. It's your story. It's your life. If you want to be on the struggle bus, you're glad to have that option. Every option is on the menu. And so if that's the life you want to live, you get to have it. You get to have it. Hello, alchemy, welcome. Yes, abundance. Yes. Say how to reprogram it. Decide. It's just as easy as making a decision and then remaining faithful to it exclusive. What do you want? Ask yourself that. Not what society says you should have. Not the saying, oh, that's too much. There's never too much in the universe, a world of infinite abundance. So you can have whatever you desire. Just remind yourself, it's not your job to figure out how you will get it. It's just your job to believe you already have it, to accept it as a reality. And so you have to tell the new story. And you have to keep telling the new story and then tell the story to yourself. It's not about telling the story to others. It's telling the story to yourself. Choosing the story and then letting it be. Letting it be that story. Don't be double-minded. Don't tell the story of abundance, then talk about how you don't ever have enough, right? Don't tell the story of health and then complain about ailments in the body or symptoms of disease, right? That's double-mindedness. You can't have both. You can't have both stories. You can't occupy two states at the same time. You're either in the state of health or you're in the state of illness. You're either in the state of abundance or you're in the state of poverty. You're either in the state, right? So choose a state and then remain faithful to it. Hey, all love. How are you? Exactly. That is the higher mind's job to determine how it will happen, right? The way will be shown to you. You don't have to have anything figured out, right? Your only job is to choose what it is, right? Your awareness has two aspects to it. It's called the masculine and the feminine. Some people like to call it the yin and yang. Some people like to call it the positive and negative. Some people like to call it right or wrong. Some people like to call it good or bad. But actually, it's divine feminine and divine masculine. There appear to be two separate aspects, and actually, it's one unit. There's only one unit, right? Awareness cannot be divided. So it appears as two different aspects when really is one mind operating in two different ways. That's all. The masculine part of you is the selector. It is that logical mind that operates from the five senses that scans your world and says, or scans your mind, right? Because your world is your mind. Your world is a reflection of the mind, right? So you scan your mind and you say, what do I want to see in this world? What do I want to project out there? What's going on in here that I would like to project out there, right? And then you just decide that. And then let your feminine aspect of you, what Dr. Joseph Murphy will call the subconscious mind, Neville Goddard would call it the imagination, the potter's house, right? You let that do the work. You don't have to do anything. You only have to be still and know. And the subconscious mind, God, source, the imagination, your awareness will go to work for you. Oh, yes, I like that. I am the divine feminine and masculine form. Yes. Yes. Hey, fresh air. Yes, late night. I said I'll get on live until my husband come up for bed and then I'll get off. So I don't know what time that will be. It may be in the next 10 minutes. I don't know. But yes, the Bible, I know there are many, schools of thought when it comes to the Bible, right? Some people say that it's stolen history. Others people say it's a history book. Other people say it's an astrology book. Other people say, so many. The Bible is whatever you say that it is. For me, it's a psychology book. It's reminding me that I am the I am, that I am the power, and I am the ocean experiencing itself as a drop. Right, that the Bible is reminding me that there are two states of mind. The mind that decides to operate from the world of duality, and then the awakened mind that recognizes that the world is one. It's a unity, right? There is no separateness in awareness. There's no separateness in God. You cannot divide God, right? You cannot divide infinity, neither can you multiply it, right? You cannot add to God and you cannot take away from God, right? Because God is infinite, eternal, and that's the being that you are, right? You are an individualized, unique expression of the one, right? So, and I know that's what the Bible is saying. Now, others may find that to be contrarian or contradictory or, a blasphemous or however you want to say it. But again, the Bible will be to you whatever you think it is. And if you never ever want to pick up that book ever again, you don't have to. It's not necessary, right? You never have to read any sacred text. You just have to what? Get to know thyself. Is the Bible helpful for getting to know you when you are of the awakened mind? Yep. Hey, hey, hey. Limousine Live. Hey, buddy, how are you? Say T Midnight Hour Edition. Oh. You say, what's hubby doing? Fresh air? In the garage working on his, he built a mobile bar, and the customer is coming to pick it up tomorrow. So he's just making sure that everything is just right for the customer that's going to come pick up their mobile bar on tomorrow. So we just got back from Friday Night Lights, our daughter's homecoming game. So we watched the JV and the varsity. They both won. So, so we just got in not too long ago from that. I'm in Central Standard Time. So for me, it's a little after 11 o'clock. Oh, yes. That's beautiful. Beautiful, buddy. Yeah, what time zone are you exclusive, Chrissy? I know, right? Hey, Marcinda, how are you? I said, let's see. Let me chop it up with the folks. See who's up. Let's see who's up. See who wants to talk. Oh, okay, yes. So we're in the same time zone, exclusive at 11 o'clock. Yep. Same time. That's the time I am as well. Oh, you're a night owl? Okay. That's cool. That's cool. This probably only like the second or third time I've come on live this late. It's not the first time, but it is. I've only done it, a couple of times before. So really all of. So what class is this that you're taking that you all are discussing the law of assumption? What type of class are you taking? That is cool. Yeah. It's been very few and far between, Marcinda. Very few and far between. Do I have boundaries with myself? No. I make a conscious effort because to me, love is boundless, right? So love knows no bounds. To me, boundaries are limiting, but it's okay if that's what you choose to do, because remember, everything is how you perceive it, right? Some people feel like they have to protect their energy, they have to protect themselves from, others, and can't be in certain situations, and that's okay. If you feel that is necessary, do what's necessary for you to reach your higher height, to reach your end goal, so you don't miss your aim in life, right? Do what works for you. For me, no, I never want to appear like I'm giving something outside of me the power. Do sometime I miss the mark? Of course, we all miss the mark, right? We all, miss our aims in life. That's part of the human aspect of us, right? That we sometimes get off course, right? Because Like I told you, I like to reference the script, right? The script says a just man falls 7 times, right? And 7 is the spiritual number of perfection, completeness, wholeness, right? So sometimes you're just gonna miss the mark. All you got to do is what? Course correct. You just got to course correct. Yes, hey neighbor, hey neighbor. Say, let me get my iPods. Yes, unconditional love. Absolutely. Absolutely, buddy. Doing absolutely great. You are absolutely right. No, I do not feel like I have to protect my energy, Chrissy. Nope. Protect it from what? Who's opposing me? No, nothing. Like I'm not going to write the story that something is ever against me, right? I'm going to create the story that all things work together for my good. That I like Florence Scovel Shinn had this affirmation, right? Every man is a link in the chain of my good, right? So everyone that comes into my reality is for my benefit. It's always for my good. That's why I kept that. Like, I haven't read Florence Scovel Shinn in years. She was one of the first books that I read, The Game of Life and How to Play It, when I started on my spiritual, I don't like to say spiritual, on my awakening state, once I started to remember who I was, right? That book was The Game of Life and How to Play It was one of the first books that I read. And that was one of the affirmations that I committed to memory. It was like, yes, every man is a link in the chain of my good. So if I understand that everyone comes into our experience to benefit me, not to harm me, right? And so that reminds me of another script, right? It says that I know the thoughts and plans I have for you, says the Lord. Thoughts to prosper you and not to harm you, to bring you to an expected end, right? So the law of love, the law of life, never seeking to harm you, ever. Love is in support of you always. It will always support you in whatever decision that you make, regardless if you call it good, bad, wrong, right, evil, right? It is always going to support whatever you choose. That's why you have to choose wisely, choose consciously, be a deliberate creator, as Abraham Hicks would say. Yep, so simple. It is so simple. Good evening, good evening. Yep, tell yourself, yep. It is so simple. It's so simple. And we just have to remind ourselves of the simplicity. The simplicity, right? Because we are writing our story with our words constantly. Why would you be sorry for the way I feel? How do you feel? And what is there to be sorry about? You're welcome. You're welcome, Chrissy. We don't have to feel sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about. Everyone doesn't have to agree, right? You should never come to, someone's page thinking that you're going to agree with everything they say. I don't do this looking for people to be like, yeah, girl, yup, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. That's not, I'm saying my truth. And either it resonates with you or it doesn't, but you don't have to accept anything I'm saying. You can continue to live your life. I just know that because I changed my life through changing my thoughts, I'm telling you, give it a try, and then you'll see, improve it to yourself. Not to just accept it because I said it. Try it to see if it actually works. right? Because especially if what you have been doing isn't working, you continue to keep experiencing things like you're on this wheel of recurrence, like you keep having the same day, like Groundhog Day. Every 3 or 4 months, you find yourself experiencing the same thing, right? You look at your life and you like year after year, you keep having the same experiences, and they're not experiences that you want to have. You keep dating the same people and it never goes anywhere, right? You keep ending up at the same job and you keep having difficulties with the job, right? Every job you get, somebody at work don't like you, your supervisor mistreats you. You know, if you keep noticing patterns in your life that you don't want to experience, I'm just saying, try something different. You know, like the saying goes, you can't keep doing the same thing expecting a different result. That's not how it happens. If you want a change to occur, you have to change your mind. You change your mind, you change your world. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So you keep thinking the same way, you're going to keep getting the same things. It's really that simple. It's not difficult. It's not hard. And you can just look at your life and notice that you keep having these same experiences on repeat. Every 6 months, every year, you're going through the same type of experiences. See, it's like people cleaning a mirror with, yep, mud is still dirty. No matter if you tell them to use the blue cleaner. I know, right? The Windex. Yeah, all experiences are neutral experiences. It's the energy that we put into. You're right. Right, because energy is neutral too, but you're deciding what's good or bad, right? The only one judging you is you. And so if you're experiencing something and you call it bad, then for you it will be bad. And if you call it good, then it will be good. Right? And so how about say it's just a happening? And ask yourself, why does this keep happening? And notice the pattern. It's because the way you're thinking. It's just about being aware, right? It's deciding to be aware of your thoughts, to be aware of the words that you are speaking, to pay attention to what story you are telling. And then see the correlation between thoughts and actions. You do a thing because you think a certain way. And if you stop thinking that way, you'll stop doing that thing. It's really that easy. Stop thinking that way and you'll stop doing that thing. The moment you change the way you think, your actions will follow. Because your actions are the effect, they're never the cause. The only reason why you behave the way you do is because you think the way you do. And if you stop thinking that way, you'll stop behaving that way. Yep, something new. Exactly. It does not have built-in meaning. We give meaning to life. Life has no meaning in and of itself. You give meaning to life. That part, no matter what happens, is always going to benefit me. That's what you have to tell yourself. And keep telling yourself that, and keep telling yourself that, and keep telling yourself. Remind yourself, right, of the joy of living. Remind yourself, right, the ease of living, right? Remind yourself of the ease of living. That it's okay, like Buddy would say, give yourself the permission to have a full life, to have a joyful life, to have a lovely life. Give yourself the permission to experience that. Because for whatever reason, we think we need permission to have a thing. And then for whatever reason, we think we have to earn the blessing. Like we have to prove worthiness. We have to say, oh, you just don't understand. I went through this. I had to go through this. I had to blood, sweat, and tears. You just don't understand. I had to struggle. I had to grind, right? I had to work hard for nothing ever was given to me. I had to work for this, and that's a program, right? That's the program. We believe the conditioning. We believe that, working hard, was going to bring about a great thing. But you can look at your world and see a lot of people work hard, yet they can't keep their heads above water, says Good Times, right? Good times say keeping your head above water. You barely keeping your head above water, yet you work really hard. So what did working hard get you? Because I know you will hear different people that are successful in our world that we call quote unquote celebrity, right? And they'll say, well, I worked hard, I sacrificed, I did. Here's the thing with that. They made a decision to do a thing, and they remained consistent regardless of how they felt up that day, right? Like, I love Michael Jordan. I was a huge Michael Jordan fan. So I'll reference Michael Jordan because, I'm from Chicago. I was there for the 6-peat. I was, when I saw him play back in the late 80s, I became a huge fan. And, once he left basketball, so did I. I stopped watching the Bulls when he stopped playing basketball for the Bulls, right? And, he would talk about, that he would say like things like, I made you think that this was easy because I talked about all the shots that I made and not all the shots that I missed, right? I didn't tell you how I got up at this time of the day and I continue to, work on my craft, right? I did this every day, regardless of how I felt or what I thought about it. I was consistent in this. So he equated that with hard, right? With work, right? That he put forth this great effort. And I would challenge that to say, well, actually, he just made a decision to be great. And in order to be great at what he did, he had to be what? To be persistent and consistent at that. You don't get greatness doing it every once in a while, right? You don't become one of the best basketball players in the NBA history by training once a week or once a month. Greatness comes with consistency, determination, persistence. He was persistent in what he was doing. He made a decision that he was going to be great. And so once that became a part of his subconscious, he had to do the things that he was doing because he loved the sport, right? So even if he didn't feel like doing it, right, that feeling thing, oh, I don't feel like it, he didn't let his feelings dictate his desire. He didn't let his feelings dictate his choice. He didn't let his feelings get in the way of his decision. And a lot of us will let our feelings get in the way of our desire. Well, I just don't feel like it today. I don't feel like doing it. Like I would talk to my kids about, cleaning up and keeping the house clean. And they're like, well, nobody likes cleaning up. Who said you had to like it? If you want a clean house, you got to clean it. Like what? Or either you're going to pay someone else to do it. I ain't going to say I like cleaning up, but I like a clean house. So guess what I have to do? I have to clean the house. Like what? Or I'm going to pay someone else to do it. This ain't about if I like cleaning. Now, are there some people that love cleaning? Of course there are. Of course there are people that love cleaning. Am I one of them? No. But do I like a clean house? Yes. So guess what? I'm going to do the cleaning unless I'm going to pay someone else to do it. But whatever it is, it will have to get clean, whether you are personally doing it or you're paying someone else to do it. If you like things to be in order and you want your, a presentable house, right? You want a house that smells good, looks good, then you're going to do what's required. And your feelings are not going to play a role in that. Hey, Keisha. Hey, Knowledge. Hello, boss. Welcome. Say Kobe was just like that. Yep. I mean, if you don't like what's going on, you can just, we're going to go back to the old way. I'm just going to ignore those who want to come in and just be contrarian, But thank you for commenting because you help the algorithm. I appreciate it. Every time you comment, you help the algorithm. So thank you. Thank you for that. But I've decided, I was telling my husband, I'm done giving energy to those who don't see this truth. It's not my job to argue, debate, convince, convert, proselytize anyone. If this message isn't for you, keep it moving. Just scroll on by. Just scroll. That's all I got for you. I'm no longer talking to people that with opposing viewpoint, because I came to realize that when you want a different reality, you have to decide to shift the reality, and you got to tell a different story, and you got to do things differently, right? And so I'm all about, I'm like, I want the prosperous life, the prosperous way of living, and I can't keep talking to people that want to talk about limitations and talk about fears and talk about worry and complaining and always want to talk about sin. I ain't got time for that. You could go find another page. Go find, if that's something you want to discuss and that's something you want to give your energy to, this is the wrong chat for you. This is the wrong room. You're in the wrong room. No longer am I bringing up people that are not ready to receive this message. Everybody, like I said, everybody got their own path. Everybody got their own way. If you're coming from religion, you have questions regarding it, you're welcome to come up to the panel and have the conversation. But I'm no longer talking to those that are not ready to receive this message. That really is a waste of time, a waste of energy, and it profits no one. It turns into a big old argument, big old debate. Even if that's not something that you're desiring to do, that's what ends up happening, because that's the energy that's there. So I'm in like a shift. Like you have to keep course correcting and keep shifting when you want a different reality. Yes. Oh, phenomenal. Okay, buddy. Okay. Right, because we don't care. Hey, AH, how are you? Yes, false evidence appearing real. We don't just want to keep giving time to and energy to the unwanted, right? And so let people have their beliefs. I don't no longer have to discuss them. It does not benefit me in any type of way. Like I said, if you're leaving that mindset, you're leaving religion, and you're looking for a place that's going to come, that you want to come to elevate your mind, to elevate your mindset, to break the shackles off your feet so you can dance freely, joyfully, wonderfully, because you're ready to live the abundant life, because you're ready to experience the peace, the joy, the confidence, that confidence in the power that is you, that's within you. Yes, absolutely, buddy. Yes, absolutely. Because when you shift and you see life in a certain way, you don't really know what it looks like until you experience it for yourself. And then you have to decide, is this the path I want to continue down on, or do I want to take another route? And so, as you elevate, as you come to more awareness, as you really, really, clarify what it is you want in your reality, you start to realize some things are just not worth talking about, discussing, or giving your energy to, right? And so it's like, yeah, I want to be around people that want more out of life, right? You want to have those conversations with people that are elevating their experience, and you don't want to keep talking to people that's talking about the woe is me, and look at the world, and don't you see the world, and oh, you're a sinner, or it's just so no, I want to be in my own little bubble. As Abraham Hicks used to say, put my head in the sand. I'm putting my head in the sand, and I'm only having tunnel vision. And I don't have time for, I'm no longer giving my time to the energy of limitation, right? Because you find yourself, even though you're saying you're unlimited and you're limitless, the more you give your energy to the limitation, you start to create limitation, right? The more you keep talking to people about fear, you start to make fear a reality for you when you know it's not even real, but because that's what you're giving your attention to, right? Consciousness doesn't know no. Conscious only knows what you give your attention to, right? So it's about, what are you giving your attention to? Well, if I keep giving my attention to talking to people that only want to talk about limitation, well, then I'm going to create that in my world. I'm going to create limitation, because what? I'm giving my energy to it. I'm giving my attention to it. Yep. Change myself and shift. You're funny, buddy. You're so funny. Yep, the universe supports us unconditionally. Unconditionally. It's all about elevating, right? It's about, and it's not even necessarily elevating, it's about being the being that you are, right? Accepting the power, accepting the unlimited power, right? Accepting it because we are already it. It's just about acceptance. It's all about always choosing the thing that you are. Choosing the thing that you are. Not trying to become the thing. We don't need to try. We just need to accept. We just need to decide. Who do I say that I am? Who am I saying that I am? Right? So, and then you got to say, well, I'm saying that I'm this. Okay, then, but you're not acting like it. You're doing everything in opposition to that. Right? Right? Because like I told my husband today, I was like, I can't keep saying them because they're me, right? There is no them. There is no they. They're my mirror, right? They're mirroring me. So I'm like, oh, like Buddy said, I have to clean the mirror. And cleaning the mirror, or I have to, or better yet, change the projection, right? How do you change the projection, right? I'm the projector. How do I change the projection? I have to what? Change the film. And what's the film? The mind, the words. I have to change that. I have to fine tune. I have to tune into a different station, tune into a different frequency, change the film. Yep. Yes. Yep. Yeah. Oh, I like that, buddy. People love enslavement with pain so they can get a reward later. Yep. Yep. Put the headphones on and change the song. Yep. You got to crowd out the noise. You got to crowd out the background noise. And it just shows you how easy it is to get distracted, right? That's why you have to be the watchman at the gate. You have to be the watchman at the gate. You got to guard your heart with all diligence because out of it flows the issues of life. You got to guard your mind. You got to be like B5O Farm. You got to be like the giant, right? Who said, who goes there? Who's at the door? Who's at the gate trying to enter in? Can't let anybody else enter into your gate. You can't let any thought just come in and have a seat at the table. Every thought is not welcome. You gotta say, every thought not welcome here. We only allow love here. We let love make its place at home, right? Home is where the heart is. And the heart should be running over, right? Say, my cup runneth over, my heart runneth over. And so tell your thoughts what to think. Tell your feelings how to feel. Say, I feel, you right? And feel really means the same thing as think. Right? Right? Because if we have no thought, then we have no feelings. So I'm not talking about, right? So if we don't have a thought about a thing, we have no feelings to go with it. Because we can say, oh, I went to this space and I felt these things, right? But you're the one deciding what those feelings mean, right? You're the one saying, These feelings don't feel right. These feelings feel negative. These feelings, it feels like evil in here. It feels wrong. But who's saying that? You're saying it. You're the one thinking it. Because you could just easily say that, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what these feelings are. But I'm going to choose to think whatsoever thing is just, whatsoever thing is pure, whatsoever thing is lovely, whatsoever thing is noble, whatsoever is of good report or praiseworthy. I'm going to think on these things. But most of us don't choose that. Most of us want to what? We want to eat off the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and we want to judge a thing as bad. We want to judge a thing as wrong. We want to judge a thing as negative. We want to judge a thing as evil. Because we think that the feelings are outside of us. We really think that this world is out there. So many of you that, if you were part of the book club, right, we were reading the book, Busting Loose from the Money Game. And the author reminded us there is no out there. Everything happening is happening within us, and then it's projected on the screen of space, as Dr. Joseph Murphy would say, right? He calls the world your screen of space. Remember, your mind is the projector. And so the world is just a screen. It's a movie screen. And everything you're seeing is what's happening within you, right? Everything. I like how this one creator on here says, there is no outer space, there's only inner space, right? It's only the inner that's projected outward. That's what's going on. Like the sun is a symbol of you, right? You're told in the script, you're the light of the world. You are what energizes your reality, you. And so the sun that you see is really just a symbol of the light within you, right? And we said that the moon is what? A symbol of your emotions, right? Because it only has light because of the sun, which means your emotions only have light or have movement because of you, right? Because emotion is just energy in motion, and guess what? You're always emoting. Right? Because you're always in motion. Your energy is never at rest, right? Energy never rests. Energy is always active, always. Even if you can't detect it, even if your body, you're sitting down, right? Or rather you're in a sleep state, right? Where you're not conscious of the world around you. Did your body stop? No, your heart is still beating, your blood is still circulating, you're breathing, right? Your digestive system is still working, right? Everything is still in operation. Even though you're not consciously aware of it. And for the most part, we're not consciously aware of our heartbeat, right? We can't feel our blood circulating, right? We may be aware of, we can get still and be aware of the breath, right? We can get still and be aware of the heartbeat, right? We can be still and become aware of it. But for the most part, it's in the background. It's just doing its thing without your help, without you having to tell the heart, continue to beat now. Tell your lung, remember to inhale and exhale, right? Tell the blood, don't forget to circulate now. It's gonna do it. There's an intelligence that you are, that it has all those things in operation. Connect, yep. Hey, Elizabeth. Hello. Yep, what you perceive is what you receive. Hey, honey, that's it. Yep, the observer of our thought. Be the big dog and command the field. Yes, I love that. Hey, say to myself. Yep. Man, it's just like, and just keep choosing yourself. Choose yourself in every situation. And I know most people will tell you, oh, that's selfishness. Here's the thing. In the scenario of another person, right? Quote unquote, in air quotes. And they want, see, here's the thing. When people call you selfish, it's because they want to be selfish. So good, because they want you to choose them as opposed to you choosing you. And so then you have to ask yourself, well, then who gets to be selfish in this situation? Does the person that wants you to choose them, do they get to be selfish so they get to get their way? Or in your reality, do you get to be selfish and you get to have things your way? Right? And so that's a decision you have to make. Who gets to be selfish in this scenario? Does the other person get to be selfish and I choose them? Or do I get to be selfish and I choose me? Well, since you're the main character in your reality, shouldn't you always be the one that's the star? Shouldn't be the spotlight be on you in your reality? The spotlight should never be on the supporting cast. Your life isn't about other people. Me, 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 me. Oh, I love that. No reaction to anything that does not serve me. Yeah. Yes. Say if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Love that, Elizabeth. Exactly. Because people would love to call you selfish when you choose you and you don't choose them. But wouldn't they be being selfish because they want to choose themselves and not choose you? Like, come on. So we got to decide who gets to be selfish in this scenario. I'm going to choose me every time. Yes. Hey, Keela. That's it. It's only you. That's all there is. And the only reason the movie screen is talking back saying, hey, why didn't you choose me? Hey, why didn't you choose me? The only reason the screen is talking back is because you're not sure of yourself. Your world is going to show you where you stand in life. Remember, your world is only confirming your belief system. It's only confirming the thoughts you are creating. All the time. The world is always communicating with you. It's always reflecting you. And I know for a lot of us, it's a hard pill to swallow to say everything in my world is a reflection of me. And you say yes. And you're like, no, hold up. Wait a minute now. I can't take that. I can't receive that. What you mean everything is me pushed out? What do you mean the world is my mirror? I know I'm not that person. I know I didn't create that. I know. No, I'm not an energy vampire. I'm not low vibrational. But you may not be it, but you created it. But how are you creating something that you're not? How does that happen? Then that would make the law not good or perfect, right? Right? Because now you're saying that things produce not after their own kind. You're telling me that it is possible to sow an apple seed and get a lemon tree. And I would tell you, no, not so. Impossible. Impossible. Lemon trees don't come from apple seeds. So if you're seeing something and you're labeling it as that, it's only that because you named it so. Remember, God told Adam, whatever you call a thing, that's what it shall be called, right? You're Adam in this situation. Adam represents humanity. You're the one calling it that. That's why it's that. If you stop naming shit, it wouldn't be that. Stop naming shit. I know God told Adam whatever he calls a thing, it shall be called. But how about stop naming shit? Stop calling stuff. Just let things be. If you could just let it be without defining it, without giving it a title. Just be like, now that's God right there. Right? And basically you're saying that's good. Whenever you say something is God, you're saying it's good because they're synonymous. Right. Don't start no shit. There won't be no shit. Yeah. Yep. The world will tell you when you need to soften, release, forgive, or rewire. Yep. Yep. We manifest who we are, not what we desire. That's why the script says to seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all of its righteousness, and all the things get added to you. So in layman's terms, this is how I say it. I say be the person who has the things, and then the thing shall appear. Be it, and then you will see it. Y'all like that? Be it, and then you'll see it. That's how it works. And to be it just means to decide that you are it. That's it. Being it is just all of you deciding, I am that. I am this. Because you are. Whatever you say that you are, that's what you shall be. Who do you say that I am? So if you go around saying, well, I'm misunderstood, I'm mistreated, people don't like me, I got haters, people always against me, people always say, well, guess what? You are writing your story with your words. That's what's happening. You're writing your story with the words you're telling. So every time you say, I don't know why people don't like me, I don't get it, why people don't like me, and the subconscious mind say, oh, people don't like you? You're exactly right. Let me show you just how much people don't like you. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe, these people get on my long nerve. You go to work and you don't understand why the boss just don't like you. And you know that you do excellent work, always on time, give your best, give your all. And you're like, oh my God, this job is draining me. They don't appreciate me. They don't appreciate anything I do. My boss always on my ass, always nitpicking, always being petty with me, always pointing me out, always trying to make me the example. That's why. Because it's the story you're telling. Because all you got to do is tell a different story. It's just that simple to tell a different story. Actually, man, I love this job. Man, it's the best job I ever had. Make more money than I ever thought. Making way more money than I ever thought possible. And I love this job. And my boss, they wish it was 10 of me. She pointed me, I'd be like, if I was ever looking, or he pointed me, I'd be like, if I was ever looking for, a poster child for an excellent employee, you will get the nomination every time. You will get the award every time. I wish I could have, do you got any brothers or sisters? You got any cousins? They start asking you, do you know somebody that's just like you? So they can have more people like you in the office. All you gotta do is tell that story. And then watch your world reflect the new story that you're telling. But the key is you got to keep telling that story, regardless of circumstances, right? Because many of us will start telling the story, and as soon as the world isn't matching the story, we get our pennies in a bunch. We get our boxes all up in our ass, right? We start like, oh my goodness, I've been saying it, and ain't nothing changing, because you looking for the world to change before you do. Because you think, because you said it one time, and it could be that it could take you just saying it one time. It literally can take you saying it one time. But the moment you say it and then you don't see it, you fall back. Because you don't want to persevere in the new state. You don't want to, continue to do well. Right? The script says, do not grow weary in well doing, because you shall reap if you faint not. But y'all falling out. You said your affirmations about work before you went. You got up real early, like, oh yeah, today I'm coming, get in the mirror. I'm gonna do my mirror technique. And I'm gonna talk good about my boss. I'm gonna talk good about the people at work. I'm gonna say all the right things. I'm just gonna say all the right things. And the moment that the people, which are the characters you created, as soon as they don't match your new script, you falling out. And all you have to do is tell the characters which are in your mind, I wrote a new script. That's not the script I gave you. Why are you playing the old role? Why are you replaying the old movie? No, no, no. Get a hold of the new script. Do that again. Do it again. And you got to keep telling the characters that are in your mind, which are your thoughts. Remember, people are just thought forms. You don't see people, you see your thoughts about people. Remember that. You're not seeing people, you're seeing your assumptions about people. That's what you're saying. So when you see the old story playing out, those are the old thoughts. That's why you got to tell the old thoughts, or you have to tell your thoughts what to think. And you have to tell them, oh, I guess you forgot the memo. We got a new script. Here's the new script. Do it again. Yep. Talk to yourself and yep, revision. Yes, it is. Yep. Victim, yeah, you gotta let go of that victim mentality. Yep. See, there's nothing to seek. There's only to be, huh? Yep, that's why I said, remember I said, the script says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, or the kingdom of God, and all of his righteousness, and the things should be added. What did I say that meant in layman's terms, right? Be the person, be it, and then you will see it. That's all. Be it, choose it, decide that's what it is, right? Because remember, the English language, especially the translators who took the original Greek or Aramaic or Hebrew tongue and transcribed it into the English language, them translators, they knew what they were doing to try to come to see things, to make you think that this word was literal and that it didn't need to be decoded. But it does. The Bible needs to be decoded. Because the seeking is being. Because you're already it, right? You already are that which you're desiring, right? Because I think when Neville quotes the guy Pascal, I think it was Pascal, who says, you would not have sought me if you had not already found me, right? The only reason why you're seeking it is because you are it. You would not have sought me had you not already found me. You're claiming the thing which you already are. But it's that reasoning mind that wants to say, oh, but I have to do something first in order to accept it. When the consciousness, the awareness is saying there's nothing to do. There's only to be, right? So you got to get doing out of the equation. Doing is not part of the equation. There's nothing to do. There's only to be. Yep, we are always in our natural state. We're just dreaming that we are not. Yes. Just be. Be still. Have fun. Lighten up. Enjoy the moment. All right? Be in the state of consciousness which says, let there be, and it was, right? That's what we have to remind ourselves. We are God commanding reality to appear, right? We're saying, let it be, and it was, right? That's all God did. God said, let it be, and then it was. Then it appeared. That's all we have to do. Quote unquote, air quotes, that's all the doing. That's the only work, is to say what it is. It is what it is. It's whatever I say it is. So what are you saying that it is? That's what it shall be. Whatever you say. What are you saying? What are you speaking? Who are you being? So simple. Man, it's so simple. But yes, you will have the naysayers, which is your doubt. And they take in your doubt take shape of forms of people, right? So you will have people come and tell you, that's not how it works. It don't work like that. You got to do some shadow work, don't you know? Do you not know you got to be healed first? Don't you know you got to do some inner work, inner child? You got to talk to the inner child, right? You got to go back and you got to dig up your past and you got to deal with your past. But then how does that align with there is no past? There is no future. There is no now. So why would I have to go heal an inner child when who's the inner child? And where's this inner child at? Shadows aren't even real, right? So why would I have to do shadow work? Why would I have to work with the illusion? You do know that a shadow has no life in and of itself, right? You know, like we know that shadows have no power. So what would be the point of working with them? Right? It would just so you can prove worthiness again. Just so you can get your brownie points and get your badge of honor and say, I did the work. Again, I'm going to reference the script that says, but the works are finished. There's nothing to do. Like when you think about the Gospels, right? And you have the central figure of the Gospels that talks about the Christ in his ministry, right? And when he went around, quote unquote, performing miracles, and he was asking the different people, what would you have me do for you, right? And they tell him, did he say, well, first, before I can give you this blessing that you're asking for, I need you to go do a penance, right? I need you to go to repent first. I need you to get your house in order. I need you to do this shadow work. No. He would say, do you believe that I can do it? Yes, I believe you can do it. Okay, it's done. Because it's just going to be done according to your belief. The moment you accept it as a done deal, it's done. Nothing to do but accept the blessing. Because the blessing is a gift. It's through grace that you are saved. It is through grace. Grace is a gift and saved is the solution. Salvation is the solution. So it is by you accepting the gift that you receive it. That's how it goes. Just accept the gift and bam, it's done. That's the only work, is just to open up your hands and receive the gift. Yes. No, I don't. Exclusive. To me, that's teaching people that is something wrong with them. And again, it's your story. I'm not saying you have to agree with anything I'm saying. If you feel like it's necessary, then do it. From my standpoint, it keeps making you think something's wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with you. You don't need to fix anything. You're not broken. You just had experiences. That's it. You had experiences. Did those experiences, they may have traumatized you. Okay, I'll give you that. Did those experiences hurt? I'll give you that. Were their experiences painful? I'll give you that. But does that mean something is wrong with you? I won't give you that. I won't give you that there's something wrong with you. I will just give you experienced some things that you didn't like experiencing, some things that hurt you, there's some things that made you feel less than, some things that made you feel unworthy, the things that made you feel abandoned, the experiences that made you feel neglected, the things that made you feel, whatever, guilt, things that made you feel shameful. But that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. Your experiences do not define you. You are not your experiences. You're just the observer having the experience. Yes, I know that's a thing, Chrissy. And I hear it. I've been hearing it lately. I've been hearing that a lot lately about the nervous system and regulating and trauma being attached to you. And I get it. We love diagnosing ourselves with diseases. So when you come from the mindset that conscious needs healing, well, now you got to figure out a cure, right? And so now you feel like there's work to do. But the works are finished. The only work you really have to do is accept that everything that's going to be done is already done. See, the purpose of awakening is for you to realize you're already perfect, right? That consciousness cannot improve upon itself. Consciousness isn't broken. Consciousness doesn't need to be fixed. And so you have to ask yourself, am I identifying with the personality or am I identifying with the awareness? See, I say affirmations aren't to change anything. The affirmation is you're saying what is. So when you affirm a thing, you're saying what is, right? Whether you're affirming what you would like for it to be or what you would like for it not to be, right? You're either affirming the truth or you're affirming the error. And you have to decide which one are you affirming. Because affirmations don't make a thing so. Affirmations are based on what you already believe to be so. Right, it happened. Yep. Yep, it's based out of the illusion. Oh, you see how you like the way I explain it? But again, Chrissy, right? You don't have to agree with me. Because here's the thing. Consciousness, your awareness wants to experience things, right? And so for you, your consciousness, your awareness, your unique expression of the one may want to experience what it's like to do inner work, what it's like to do shadow work, what it's like to heal the inner child, right? That may be a path that you want to experience. And I'm not here to say you shouldn't experience. If it resonates with you, if you feel this is necessary for the experience in which you want to have, because there is no wrongness or rightness, right? There is nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with doing shadow work, right? I'm just saying for me, not for anyone else. For me, it's unnecessary. But for others, it's quite necessary. For them, That's something they feel they must do. Who am I to tell someone not to do a thing? I'm never here to tell you what you should or should be doing. I'm here telling you, figure out, know yourself. Get to know thyself. Know what you are desiring to experience. Because we're not walking the same path. We're not having the same journey. You said we're on the same page. There is no end to life. There is no end. Life is eternal. Just because the body ceases to beat, ceases to pulsate, you're not the body. You are the energizer bunny. You are that which is energizing the body. Right? Y'all remember the bunny? The energizer bunny? You're it. You're that. That's what you are. You are the power animating the body. Once you're done with this vehicle, your power continues to live on. The body just ceases to be, right? The physical body just ceases to, that's it. And it really doesn't cease to be, it becomes part of the circle of life, right? It returns to the dust, and it just rejuvenates and becomes a part of this reality. Oh, yes, you do not need the hard way. Man, buddy, that's it. Man, if we could just remember that life does not have to be hard. But here's the thing. You get to choose the hard way. If it suits your fancy, right? If you feel like, man, I don't feel like I should have a thing unless I work really hard for it. Well, then guess what? You will never get a thing unless you work really hard for it. And you have to ask yourself, do you want to keep working hard to get stuff? Do you want to see if you can get things, with ease? Right? Like, ask yourself that. Do I want to continuously always get things that just seem so difficult? I gotta try hard. I gotta try hard. You ever heard that? Man, you a try hard. You a try hard. You always doing the most. Right? Some people like being try hards. They're like, look at me, look at me. Look, I lifted. I lifted all those bricks. And you could have been like, there was an easier way to get those bricks moved, right? You didn't have to physically lift the bricks yourself. We do have, certain tools that would have lifted that brick for you, and it would have been no strain or struggle for you. You actually could have did that an easier way, but you like hard stuff. You want you want the gold medal for struggle. You get it. You get to have it. You say you're shocked when you get things easy. Oh, we're 10K. Okay. If you want to come up and talk. Want to come up and... Thank you for reminding me, Marcinda, because I definitely was not watching the likes. Hello, just loving my life. Just living my life, sorry. I don't even think they knew that they was coming up. You say you always watching? Hello, Stones by Nick.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. What's up?
Oh, I didn't really have any other real questions. I just wanted to hang out and talk. I like your, talking and your articulating of things. So
Cool. No problem. Did you have any questions or anything you wanted to share?
you kind of answered my questions. I don't know. I have my
Oh, Pause there. You paused there. You on mute. So we can't hear you if you're talking. I don't know what happened. He went mute there. Maybe he had a phone call. All right. Thank you, Marcinda. She said, I'm always watching. Are you back?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah, I disconnected for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, you kind of answered my questions. I have my viewpoints, and obviously we probably differ on some things or label it other ways, but I
Oh,
think
that's okay.
fundamentally we think the same things. Yeah.
Yeah, you're free to share your viewpoints. So what is your, how do you differ on with some of the things I said? Because I mean, some people may, maybe they see it in a different way that it resonates with others, right?
Yeah,
Because,
yeah,
everyone has their own way of articulating their, the same thing, right? But maybe you see it in a way that resonates with someone and it clicks for them, right?
yeah. I think a lot of the reason a lot of people can't understand what I guess where we're at in awareness is just because of like the a lot of like this systems pressures that have caused our brain to that left and right hemisphere to not really be able to communicate in the ways that it should. And this lack of communication like causes more of our either our logical side of our brain or our more like emotional egotistical side of our brain to run our reality.
Yeah. And I just chalk it up to, programming, conditioning, and that whole aspect of thinking we just have to work so hard for everything. And we're always told, well, if it comes too easy, then you're not going to appreciate it, right? If you get it for free, you're not going to find any value or any worth in it. But I realize when I get stuff for free, I absolutely love it. I love when you get a free upgrade, somebody pay for your meal, somebody gifts you with, hundreds of dollars or something, or maybe you play a scratch off for a lottery and you get 10 times the amount that you did that you actually spend on it. Like it feels good.
Do you think like are you pretty strict Bible, or do you look into like the more I call it in quotations woo woo things where like you can speak things into existence and manifestations and things in that nature?
He said woo woo. I
That's
believe
what
in
I
the I
grew up
believe I
calling it.
believe in the woo woo.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I think there's truth in everything, and I think to refute that is very hard.
And because to me it's not woo woo. I think that's the law of mind, and we just didn't know that's how the world worked.
Yeah. Well, I think like this systems pressures due to like religion and government and science, and they just like broke us, and they further that divide in our head like, hey, this is we don't have to call it woo woo or science, like we agree on a lot of things, we label things differently and then fight each other about it.
Yep, that's
Right.
it. That's what I said, because I said, but science is calling it energy, religion is calling it God. Those who call themselves spiritualists may say the universe or Christ consciousness or the Buddha mind or whatever, ideology you want to insert here, right? Allah, whatever you want to call it. I think we're all saying the same thing.
Yeah, and like I like looking into like the psychology of it, and there's this TED Talk I just watched about how kids' brains are more divergent in thinking, and throughout our life we like converge on these ideas and they solidify, and how like a convergent brain isn't gonna be able to like look at the other side or like, de-align themselves with like them labels that they grew up with. And it's like hard to, enlighten, I guess, with that in mind. Like,
Yeah, I think once you start questioning everything, that's when you will start the awakening, right? As long as you're in that conformist mindset, you'll never deviate from the program. But once you start to question your government, your religions, science, once you start to go down that road of y'all ain't telling us something. I think
that's
it's
the
more to this
start
than what
of
you're
it.
telling me.
Yeah, I mean that's the start of it. I mean, question everything, and I'm like,
Yup.
what was I taught growing up? Like, why? Like, I could be so much further in my life right now. Like,
Yes.
I could have learned this when I was 12, and
Oh my
now
goodness.
I'm 24, and I'm like, okay, well, at least I'm 24, and I'm not like 80 listening to videos of people who finally get it and can articulate it well.
Man, what was I? I was 45.
Yeah, well, I
It is
each
what
their
it
own.
is. Like I've met 70 somethings, right? I've met like all age groups on this platform. From those who said, yes, I question things at 5. Damn, at 5? Shit, what was I doing at 5? Like
Well,
you
I mean, at
and
5,
especially
I
some people
thought it, but
that grew up in
like,
religion too. Like I didn't grow up in religion, but a lot of the people that I run across that said they questioned, they were kind of raised in Christianity or some
mhm.
religion or whatever, and they were like, some stuff just didn't make sense to them. Where others are like, no, I bought it hook, line, and sinker. I believed everything my parents was telling me, and I kind of lived in fear, of dying, of hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I resonate with that a lot growing up, like Christian family, like even like as a kid, like went to church and I was like asking questions because as personally, like I think I'm always gonna diverge in my thinking. I love learning new things. So, as far as like church and school and stuff, I question things, and positions of authority just really told me, "Oh, don't do it this way," or "Don't worry about that," or that doesn't matter, or labeled it woo woo and pushed it out the door. I mean, yeah, from a young age, I was like, I don't feel very quote unquote human compared to people around me. I don't know.
yeah, and usually you get those answers because they don't know. So it's just easier to like push it away, sweep it away, right? Because if I can't really give you an answer, I just tell you, don't worry your pretty little head about it.
Yeah, that, and it's hard to even, you know, now it's hard to look at somebody and even if they don't get it, you can't feel bad. And
Yeah.
if I don't know, it's like a loop, and now it's hard to look at anybody and feel anything but uh, hope for better.
Yep, yep. And a
Yeah.
lot of people, and sometimes when you're starting to question and awaken. Well, really, when you're on your awakening path, in the beginning, you feel like you want to save everybody, right? Like, don't you see? Don't you see? And they're
Mhm.
like, they don't have on the rose colored glasses. They don't have on the magic glasses.
Mhm.
They're like, no, I don't see. I have absolutely don't know what you're talking about. This world is a cruel place. It's a cold, cold world. What are you talking about? Like, don't you see all of the starving children all over the world? Don't you see all the right? So they want to look towards the horror, and for the life of them to see beauty in this place is a very hard thing to do.
Yeah, it is very hard. I mean, I try to look at the bright side, and I try to be an optimist, and I try to look at, I'm, you know, I know medicine's good, but the way medicine is pushed is, I think, incentivized, and, to just cut her there. But, in terms of understanding or like better this connection to the brain, because I think that has a lot to do with it. If we were to fast and or eat clean and cut habits from our lives and stick to you know tell your thoughts what to think and telling your feelings how to feel. Like I came in here and I was like, okay, like, yep, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, what I did, I had to turn off the news.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's yeah.
yeah, I can't because and now I'm making another shift. So my platform has went through. So I'm about to make another shift on my platform. So it was just all talking, manifesting. Then I shifted to, let me talk to those who are in the in between state of they're leaving religion, specifically Christianity, because I used to be a Christian, and we're coming in. So I would have and I just recently made this decision today. Like today I made this decision. But I used to have on my prompts like Jesus never existed, you're not a sinner, there's no God in the sky, no savior needed. So I had those type of things. So of course those type of that prompt is going to bring in those who are opposing that view, right?
Yep.
And so I would have conversations with, and not all of them were, contentions, but you're going to have contentious, conversations, especially you're going to have people that want to proselytize, right? They're like, you need saving, you need to repent. I need to come up here and convert you because you just don't understand who God is and that Jesus loves you. And so then I'm like, that was cool for about the time I did it. I did it for about 3 or 4 or 5 months. And I'm like, but that's becoming draining.
Yeah, I
I'm like,
can imagine. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm giving my energy to a thing that I don't even believe in. Why?
Well, you just like
Yeah.
you said, shift's good for
So I
you that
changed
you can
myself.
just change. I don't know. I love my stones and I try to orient it around that, and I'm like, I don't know, trying to weave philosophy into it, and I'm like, this is somebody's gonna say it and call the hospital, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with that right now. So yeah,
Yeah, so I'm like, I just want to, because here's the thing, for me, the world is a beautiful place. Like we live in this world. I mean, and I've seen just a snippet of it. I've traveled a few places, but it's so much more of the world I want to see, right? And I just don't want to be traveling the world from a fear-based mentality, right? Because when we decide that we want to travel, my desire is not to go look for war-torn places, go look and find where the homeless people are and where they're starving children. Like that's not like I'm traveling, I'm not looking for those places, right? That's not going to be my mindset. When I travel, I want to see the snow-capped mountains. I want to see the beautiful waterfalls. I want to see the different oceans and seas and the beautiful beaches and white sands. And, I want to experience, the great architects and, the architecture that we have, on this third dimensional plane.
yeah.
That's
No,
what
that's
and I'm just like, if I continue to lean into this whole mindset of talking to people that don't want to see life from that way, I know the thing that you talk about is what you bring about. The thing that you give your attention to is what's going to expand in consciousness. So like, I know, that ain't what I want to expand in my consciousness. I'm gonna have to shift again. I got to change the conversation again.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think, the dream is to be able to experience the good in the world, or the better parts of the world, and showcase it to everybody, and show them that there is peace and harmony if we allow it. It's what I guess I'm looking at the comments, and what are your thoughts on, like, if you reincarnate, or if just become dust, and like the part of like our existence kind of just ceases to exist in a different form, or is there a part of us that's interconnected that continues or stays here? Or
Yeah, I come from the mindset, like science is, right? Energy is never created, thus never destroyed. And I see us as energetic beings. So which means that I'm not talking about the body, but the soul, the spirit, that which is animating the body, where
okay.
what thoughts, originate.
Mhm.
That can never be destroyed. It's just only transferred into what, I have no idea. There are many
Okay.
people I've heard
Can I
different.
run a theory off of you?
Go ahead, go ahead. I've heard many people say different, so I've heard different schools of thought of what's happened, right? Some people, you stay on the wheel of a recurrence and you reincarnate. Others, you go back to source and you just become one with source again, and you can decide to come back again and incarnate into a different vehicle and experience this third dimensional space as many times as you want,
And
infinite ways.
and see, that's kind of where I'm at, but I think that there's obviously like structure, and I think there's like this universal structure. So the way that I view it, as if everything started as just like this pure form of chaos, and through time this chaos structures itself in this way, and then due to pressures, which is like different parts of this chaos structuring, this pressure creates evolution. And this evolution can be seen across everything in every aspect. And like I said, this evolution is either convergent or divergent. So there's like the randomness to it, like the infinite like converging or diverging like structuring of this chaos. And I don't know, that's the best way I've been able to theorize it, that kind of
Okay,
encompasses everything.
okay, okay.
But I don't know, trying to put it in words has been pretty tough.
I like that. You did pretty good. You did pretty good, and I would say we're probably all right on some level,
I
right?
think,
On
yeah,
some
and I
level,
think
we're
there's
all
truth.
right. And like you said, we're all saying the same thing. We're just saying it in a different way.
Yeah, like he says, like that we are the 12 realm beings. I think like that number 12 is like the unifying like consciousness, awareness, whatever you want to call it, amongst everything like within this chaos. So it's like this dual, like observable versus non-observable, like I don't know.
Yeah, yep, yep, yep. And like I say, just have different ways of saying it, of expressing it. And I don't think anyone's wrong, because like even in different religions, when they talk about the tormenting part of the non-existence, right? Like when you pass on from this life, that some people tell you you're going to be tormented, but I'm just like, you're already tormented.
Yeah.
So you think that you're going to continue to be tormented?
Well, I
I
think it's a
guess maybe for
mindset, and
some people they will continue to be tormented.
yeah, I think it's a mindset. If you
Yeah.
don't align with the one, you stay here, or if you want to reincarnate, you stay here, and
Yeah.
if you want to become one with the one, you do. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you're in a different level of it, but yeah,
Yeah, but I don't look at it as something outside of you is going to decide to torment you, right?
yeah,
That's not what I just don't see that as being the reason why you will be tormented. It's because you accepted that as a reality.
yeah. It's like your internal chaos is gonna
Yep.
torment you.
Yep.
That's how I
Yep.
see it. Yeah,
Yep. It's not a being outside of you doing, punishing you and looking to do evil to you. No, we are the creators of those experiences. And I know
yeah,
for a lot of people that's a hard pill to swallow, because what you mean I created that? No. There's these two beings at war one another for my soul, right?
yeah,
You either have to choose God, or not choosing God means you're choosing the devil, right?
yeah, yeah.
Not
It's
choosing God means you're automatically choosing hell. And it's just like, say what now?
yeah. No, I think it's a total mindset. Your chaos. However you want to define hell is that structured form of that chaos, and you align with it, and I think it unifies, and in the end, it's gonna unify back into something better. Or I think that's the purpose of its divide in the beginning, was to become more, to gain more through this conscious side of it. But
Yep, expansion,
yeah,
right? It's part of the expansion,
um,
right? Because here's the thing, you can't add to, if we would accept the notion that this isn't that energy is infinite,
Mm-hmm.
then you can't add to it or take away from it.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot be multiplied nor divided. It just is.
Yeah.
And it's just deciding to experience it itself from a physical perspective.
Yeah. Yeah,
To
that's
me, and that's all. It's just all an experience. We were just told that the experiences were wrong, and the experiences were evil. And it's like if you're programmed into a world where you're told you're nothing but a decrepit, you know, that you're the depraved human being, and there's nothing good in you. Well, how do you think you're going to act?
yeah,
Like
that's
what?
that's it.
You're telling me I'm good for nothing, and then wonder why I act as though I'm good for nothing.
Yeah, well, I think it's like you said, it's internally. If you tell yourself, like
Mm-hmm.
you know, you can walk around and act the act, but if you know deep down you're self conscious, I mean that's reality for you, and you're gonna you know subconsciously walk around and be insecure or whatever. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's a tough reality when people need to just you know shift a mindset.
Yeah. It's interesting to conceptualize. And my thing is I don't try to get too much into the weeds of what's going to happen when I'm no longer consciously aware of this third dimensional plane. I'm just all about let me make the best of this third dimensional plane.
Yeah.
While I'm here, while I'm observing it, let me just make the best of it and live my best life
Well, I think
the way
that's
I
like
can.
and like that's why the Bible, like if you just like read it and like try to make good out of it, like you probably can get some like decent good out of it. Like you said, it's a mind science and like it says love yourself, love, you know, your family and your neighbors, the people that closest. Like bring this awareness like to those around you and that's all you need to do. Like it'll spread like that, you know.
That's
Uh,
it. That's it. Love is the key.
yeah,
Love, love, love. You know what the world needs now.
yeah, yeah,
You know, I mean, and really, you are your world. You are the world. You
yeah,
are your world, right? Like, you're not my world, you're your world. And so you're experiencing your own assumptions about your world. So whatever you're assuming to be true, it will be true for you. That's why people don't like, well, what do you mean their truth is relative?
yeah.
Because it's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, my chaos is structured and created these pressures in my life that, you know, make me act and do certain things. And yeah, that's, I think, like I said, trying to unify it all. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yep. Yep. It's cool. Well, I think I'm gonna head on out of here now. It's like 12:30 my time. I'm
Well,
normally
it
not
was
here
nice
on
meeting
here
you.
to. Yeah, nice meeting you. It was a great conversation. I appreciate you joining. Um, this is the midnight hour for me. Normally, I'm on during the day, so I just decided I'll try something different. See what's on. You know, who's out, who's up. You know,
Yeah.
what new folks I can draw into my experience coming on at this late hour. It was a wonderful interaction. And we'll see where this platform goes now that I'm going to make another shift.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where you go. I wish you the best in your journey.
Yes, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank
You
you
have a
so
good
much.
night now.
Oh, you do the same. You have a good night as well.
Bye now.
Bye. Oh, you were here, Journey. Thank you, thank you, guys. Thank you so much for joining me in this late night hour. It was a great experience. Yes, we will be shifting once again from I just want to really lean into the abundant life, and I just don't want to lean into the whole you know the contrarian type message where, we want to be, where I want to be discussing or leaning into the past, right? Where I'm always saying, well, I used to be a Christian. Well, I used to be a Christian. Well, I'm no longer a Christian, so I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna let that past stay buried. I'm gonna leave the past where it is and never to be remembered anymore. Who cares if I used to be a Christian? Let it go. Who cares what other people believe in? It's about, what do we want to experience? What do we want to experience? And let's put our focus there. Let's put our focus on what it is that we want and actualize that life. Because at the end of the day, that's all it's about. Actualizing that life, the life we want to experience, right? Taking the limitations off, not speaking life, speaking life, speaking life, speaking the life we want to see, and just living in that space. I have Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. I just couldn't get through it. So, wasn't my cup of tea. But I know a lot of people like him. He just wasn't for me. But I do have his book on Kindle, Think and Grow Rich, for whatever reason, and I attempted to read his book like 2 or 3 times, and I couldn't get past the first, and I don't know why. I would have to look at it again and see why it did, but I guess it doesn't matter. He just didn't resonate with me, and that's okay. That's okay. I don't need to force myself to read. I've read plenty of books on the mind. And so I have my foundation, and that's all that, that helped me go within and get to know who I am. And that's all that really matters. Right. I can't remember what threw me off, Chrissy. I don't remember. It's just something. I don't know. It sounded like, I don't know. I don't know if it sounded like he was telling me to do too much work. I don't know. It was something. I think that's what it was. It didn't seem effortless. And I want it to be effortless. I don't want it to like I'm doing too much. I already had that. I had that mindset of do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. No, just be. So he says redundant. No, I like redundancy because, I read a lot of Neville, and he was definitely redundant. He definitely said the same thing over and over again. I listened to Dr. Joseph Murphy, definitely redundant, definitely said the same thing. I listened to Abraham Hicks, definitely redundant. It was just something about, but you know what? I did come to notice. So when I was listening to Abraham Hicks, and then I saw a lady about a year ago here on TikTok. They did, because Abraham Hicks said it first, that there are 2 versions of Think and Grow Rich. There's the one that the masses get, and then it's the one they took out of print. The one they took out of print was the one that had the metaphysical, esoteric part of it. And a lady had both books. She had the original copy, and she had the one that is still in print. And she was comparing them. And so she noticed all of the metaphysical stuff was removed from the one that's currently in circulation. And so that's probably what and subconsciously maybe, right? Because before I read it, I heard Abraham Hicks talk about it. But I thought maybe it wasn't resonating with me, but it could have been because they said that there were 2 versions to his book, right? And so fast forward a few years later, 5-6 years later, I come across a TikTok video, and this is after I had tried to read it a couple of times. The lady was showing us that, yes, there actually are 2 versions of this book. And she was pointing out Like she was making constant videos where she was like, I think she was reading it and her daughter was reading it. And they would get to certain pages of the book and she would show you that, oh, this is talking about the metaphysical part. And that part isn't in the book that's in circulation now. Yep. Yep, Gavin. So what's 4 books I would recommend? I would recommend The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. Neville's book, Neville has, all of his books are good. The Power of Your Awareness is definitely one. Your Faith is Your Fortune is another. And then you can also read Florence Scovel Shinn, The Game of Life and How to Play It. So those 2 books by Neville, The Power of Your Awareness and Your Faith is Your Fortune. Joseph Murphy, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, and Florence Scovel Shinn, The Game of Life and How to Play It. I like those. Those are really, and specifically with Scovel, with Florence and Joseph's books, they are heavily into how you speak to yourself, how you talk about the things you want to see in your world. Neville is more of a visualizer. He's more in not only living in the end, but seeing it in the end. And I love Neville's teachings, but I realized I wasn't a visualizer though. I didn't have to see it in order to manifest it. I could just speak it and I could manifest. Like the more once I made a decision, I just spoke it, that was enough. And of course, Neville talks about other techniques, right? He talks about remember when, right? Of course, he talks about SATS, which is the visualizing part, right? But he would talk about, Feeling is the Secret, which is another book by him. Well, to me, Feeling is the Secret wasn't about emotions. It was about utilizing the 5 senses in your visualization to make your desire appear real to you. Because the moment it appears real to you is when it will manifest for you, right? I just realized I didn't have to visualize it for it to feel real to me. I just had to speak it, and that was sufficient for me. But others said, oh, I could visualize it and I could speak it, right? And then some people are, oh yeah, I'm like that too. All I got to do is say it and that's enough. Others say they will have to write it down, right? So you have to figure out, what works for you. And all you have to do is look at when you wanted a thing to happen and it happened, what was your process, right? What made you believe that the thing that you wanted could happen? Did you write it down and it happened? Did you just decide that this is what you wanted and then it happened? Or did you see it in your mind's eye? Did you visualize it and then it happened? Like, and all you got to do is take something that you look over your life. What was it that you wanted and it manifested? It came into your experience. That's all manifest means. It came into your experience. And then that's how you manifest. That's your technique. That's your way. That's who you are. That's how you bring things into your experience. A lot of times we think we need someone else to tell us how to manifest. No, you've been doing it all your life. You've been doing it all your life. All your life you've been doing it. You just didn't know that you were doing it. And that's why Neville would tell you, take an assessment, look at your life. Pay attention to how you think. Pay attention to what you think about yourself and what you say about yourself. Pay attention to that inner dialogue. Yep. Okay. Well, there you go. That's how Gavin manifests. There you go. Oh, there's a Think Yourself Rich by Joseph Murphy. Oh, okay. That should be a good. That almost sounds like Think and Grow Rich. I wonder, is that where Napoleon Hill got his book from? Think yourself rich. That sound like Think and Grow Rich. Right. I agree, Chrissy. Feeling the peace. Exactly. It's like an inner knowing, an inner stillness. Like you're not concerned about it, right? You're not worried about it. Yep. Yep. Feeling it. Exactly. Being at peace with it. Being one with it. Say you run into Audible, Marcy. I totally agree, Chrissy. That's how I see it. Because there is a stillness that comes over you. It's not necessarily like this emotional thing that you get. Not to say that you won't be excited. I'm not saying that isn't a possibility. But I agree with you. It's more of a peace. It's more of a knowingness. It's almost like you can't even really explain it. It's like you just know. Like you just know that you know, and you don't know why you know. You don't know how you know. You just do. You're not concerned. You're not worried about it. You just know. Yeah, you just feel at peace with it. Yeah, your mind isn't not trying to figure it out and it's not all over the place. You kind of just are settled in. You're settled. Your mind is settled. This thing is happening for me, and your mind is just settled. Your mind is at ease with it. I'm definitely gonna look into that one. I have Audible too. I'm definitely going to, because I love me some Dr. Joseph Murphy. I didn't know he had a Think Yourself Rich by so that's a we may have to, if we gotta, we may use that for the next book club. Did you all join the book club? We may have to use that for the book club. Think Yourself Rich. So I have to go listen to that book because I enjoyed Dr. Joseph Murphy. That's my guy. Asking it is given. Now, asking it is given. I had that book by not by Neville Goddard, by Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks. I have Asking It Is Given by Abraham Hicks. Now, Imagination I have by Neville Goddard, but Asking It Is Given, I didn't know he had a book. I had to. I would look into that. See, Asking It Is Given by Neville Goddard. I had Asking It Is Given by Abraham Hicks. But I do have the book Imagination by Neville Goddard. But that'll be, I'm sure that's a good one. Because I'm not saying I've read every book by Neville, but I've read majority of his books. I have like 300 lectures of his on my Kindle. But I definitely that's a good one. That's a good title too. Asking It Is Given. Yeah, when I read Abraham Hicks, she just had a lot of techniques in it. At the end of her book, she had like 23 techniques. I'm like, 23 techniques? I'm like, I hope she don't think we about to. I'm like, that's too much work. I'm not about to do no 23 techniques. But, to each his own. Okay, Chrissy, you want to come up before I go? Hello, Chrissy.
Yes,
Did you have something to say before I leave?
yes,
Go
yes.
ahead.
I was just saying, like, because I feel like certain people are overcomplicated, complicate some things. Like when when people are here, like you have to feel it. Now they're trying to force the feeling. You get
Wait,
what I'm
say that again. I didn't hear you.
It's like they're now when people say you have to feel it, some people take that and think that they have to force the feeling. But the only feeling you're trying to get is peace, not the thing.
I love that. Yep. Yep. Yeah. It's like they want you to conjure up a feeling, right?
Yeah.
Get excited, feel joyful, feel this, emotionalize it.
Hmm.
No, peace isn't emotion. It's a stillness. It's a calmness, right? It's like you're just at ease.
But the thing is, how would they know how peace feel if they never felt it?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like you just have to decide, like, okay, I'm gonna get it and let it go. Because people that's never felt that, they don't know what that is.
Yep, you're right. You're right. And you reminded me of that because I saw that on a YouTube video. This guy was talking about things he was manifesting, right? And so he was saying that you don't need to conjure up a feeling because you've never experienced it before. So how would you even know what it would feel like to have it, right?
How
Because
would
you've
you
never
know?
had it before.
You never had it.
So
You,
trying to conjure up a feeling is unnecessary.
you
Just
can.
decide that, like you just said, just decide that it's going to happen, and then
Mhm.
when it happens, the feelings will naturally come.
Like, people, I feel like they'll go on the internet and try to see how other people react when they get what they want, the thing that they want,
Hmm.
and they'll try to go off of that feeling, like that joyful, that that jumping up and down type of joy, and try to like recreate that before they
Hmm.
actually get the thing. But the thing is in front of the person that you're trying to react. You get what I'm saying? You don't got
Hmm.
it yet.
Yep.
You don't have that yet. So it's kind of pointless.
Yep. I totally agree with that. Yep. But some people think that's necessary. So I mean, I can't say that they're wrong. All I say is that, I mean, if you really think about it, that's usually not how it happens. But some people, they would say, well, I get a tingling feeling when I know something's going to happen, or the hairs on my arm do stand up, or whatever they say. Again, know thyself, know what works for you. But like you said, we look to others to try to tell us what we should be feeling.
Like trying to put something on a pedestal above you.
Hmm.
The only thing that's in on a pedestal in this life is you, not nothing else. Not even the
Yep.
thing that you want.
Yep. Yep. So true. So true. Yeah, if we would just simplify it and stop trying to make it so hard, all right? Or thinking that someone else knows better than us, right? There's so many different ways to experience this life. It's so many, and it truly is as simple as just making a decision and not trying to, well, let me think about, because here's the thing. Say you want $1 million, right? You saying what you would do with it. But when you actually got it, you probably won't do anything you said you was gonna do with
Nothing. Nothing. You
it.
might as well let the whole plan go now, because you don't know what you're gonna do with that money.
You
I
don't
had
know.
a lot.
I mean, it sounds good to be like, oh, I would invest in this and I would invest in that, and
Buy
I
me a
would,
new house.
yeah.
I would get my whole family a mansion. We would just live all in. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. No, you would not. Somebody brought you $1 million right now to your front doorstep and said, "Here, I promise you, the first thing you're not gonna do is go buy a mansion. Let all your whole family live there with you. I promise.
You probably gonna go run away somewhere and don't want nobody to find
Live on an island somewhere."
you. Right. Because you think you want all this stuff, but you just want the
Yeah,
ability to get it, right? It's not that you necessarily want it. You just want the ability to, you just want to have the option to.
yeah.
You just want
Mhm.
the option.
Just to say you happy. Like, yes, I got $1 million. Okay, so what's next?
Yep. Yep. Exactly. What's next? You're going to be on to the next creation, the next manifestation.
Right. Hmm.
That's so true. Yep. Yep. Yeah, because many people say, yeah, once I got it, some people felt uncomfortable with it, right?
Hmm.
They was like, oh, I got it. And, I didn't, especially if they got it, quote unquote, too easily, or they didn't really work for it, right? They're going to tell themselves, well, do I really deserve this? Because everybody else, because I remember this, I saw this one video where this guy was saying that, he had won, you know, millions of dollars in the lottery, right? And because he didn't like work for it, that's how his family treated him. Like, you can give me your money because you ain't work for it, you just got lucky. So
Yeah,
they felt entitled to his winnings because he won it and didn't work for it, so they felt entitled to it.
See, he should have never raised his mouth. That's the thing. You knew your family was gonna do that. You
When he
knew
was
it,
young,
Jackie.
he said he wanted, he was like 21, something like that. And
But
you're just excited, and you do, and a lot of people do want to help family, right? They like, when people are in sticky situations, I know how, people, whatever reason they give themselves for helping others, right? And so he was willingly helping, but some people just keep coming back to the well, right? They keep coming back to you like you're the bank, right? Like you savings and loans, right? They're like, I need to come back to you, because I know you got it. I know you got it, and you didn't work for it no way. You won it, so you don't deserve to have. It's almost like you don't deserve to have this thing because in their mind you didn't work for it, But again, remember I always say everything is just a reflection of you. It was just you didn't feel like you deserved it, so they just confirmed it for you. He didn't
mhm,
feel he wanted to have financial freedom. It came
mhm,
by way of the lottery, but a
mhm.
part of him felt like, well, I didn't really win it, so do I totally deserve it?
So did he fumble it? Did he
No, he
fumble
still
it?
has. He actually has the you might have
Okay,
heard
good.
of it. He has the lottery channel. What is his name? He's a white. He wears
Okay.
glasses. A white guy.
I think so.
Timothy Schultz. I think that's his name.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
Yep. Yeah, but he went on someone else's YouTube and they interviewed him, and that's what he told them that because he's much older now, but he told them that's what came with it, that part of it for him. That's what came with it, but
Mhm.
that don't have to be everybody else's story. That was just his story, right? That's why I
Right.
say you got to get the consciousness of wealth. So then, when the wealth shows up in the symbol of money, you don't feel like it's bigger than you or greater than you, or somehow that you aren't the one created it and it just happened that the lottery was just a channel it came into your life, right? Because it could have
Mhm.
came with you having a different idea, but we get so attached to the outcome of the thing, we lessen it based on the outcome, right? Oh, it's because I got it through the lottery, then I didn't really work for it, or I really didn't deserve it. But if I, came up with this great innovation, if I came up with a book and that made me millions, or if I came up with some great, new technology or some app, and that's how I got my millions, then it feels like you were worthy of it, right? Because you did something to change the world, or you did something, you created something that can benefit others. Whereas winning a lottery, who benefits from that other than just you, right? But here's the thing, the world is you. So
Right.
even, right, because we try to separate it,
Mhm.
and we try to be like, oh, but the
Mhm.
idea of some great app that benefits the
Right.
world, and in the world. So again, we're going to say that the world is the reason why you got rich. Is it?
No, it's not. Mm-mm.
Yep. But that's that's the mind trip we play with ourselves, because we really do think it's about deservedness or
Or
worthiness.
or they'll be like, oh yeah, they'll give the money to the homeless. Now,
Yep.
the thing about that is they not in the vibration for it, so all they can do is fumble. So you're not even helping them. The only way that you can really make a homeless person rich is to tell them how to manifest their desires, not give them something. You get what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Giving
Yep.
is not going to help them. You just have to tell them, okay, this is how you manifest your desires. This is how you multiply. This is how you keep it. Not here. Here you go. Because that's temporary.
Yep. Yep. But most people, we look at it, oh, I'm getting rich so I can help my family, because my family, I know some of them struggling with money. Well, you giving them money, it's not going to all of a sudden not have them struggle with it. If their mindset is to struggle with money, I don't care how much you give them. They're going to struggle with it until they have a changed mind. Until
Absolutely.
they change their mindset, they're going to struggle with money. Here's the thing,
Amen.
stop seeing people as struggles. Here's my thing, you know, I would gladly give, but I don't give out of lack. You cannot ask me for it and come with this hardship story. I'm going to say no because I don't give out of lack.
Mm-hmm.
Anything I give is going to be out of abundance, and it's going to be because I simply want to give it to you, not because you come to me with some woe is me story,
Some sob stories.
some sob story.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a no.
Yeah.
I can't do nothing with a sob story. You don't have to sell me a story because I ain't buying. I don't purchase sob stories.
Right. You're just not gonna put that in my reality. No.
Exactly. Exactly.
I cannot invest in that.
I
No.
cannot invest
No.
in sob
Mm,
stories. Exactly.
mm-mm. I invest in what I want, and what I don't want, I refrain my money from going to it. No.
Exactly. 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 Because money is just your mind. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you put your mind on lack?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Not my
No.
reality.
No.
Yep.
No. I wish you the best though. I hope you get the money that you're looking for, but over here, no.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you said, this is not a bank.
Mm-mm.
This is
Nope.
not. No. Get that over there.
Yeah, and people probably be like, oh, well, people need it. That's the problem. They think they need it when they could create it for themselves.
They play on your empathy. I don't like that. They play on the empathy and compassion.
But
Like, why
here's the
would you
thing,
want to
dude,
give
right?
something
Here's the
that's yours
thing.
to me?
We're telling the story of it, so we'll tell the story of it, we'll create it, right? So we have to not say that people are, are like trying to manipulate us, right? Through
Right.
empathy and compassion, right? We
Right,
just
right, right.
say, I invest in abundance. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I do. I invest in abundance.
Mm-hmm.
I only see abundance. And anytime I give, it's from abundance. It's never from a place of poverty or lack.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what that is. I'm not going to identify with that in my reality.
Like you're speaking a whole nother language when you're
That
talking about abundance.
that's what the day of Pentecost was in the scripts. They spoke with new tongues. They spoke in a different language, but everyone understood it, right? Because what
Mm-hmm.
language were they speaking? The language of love. Love is a
The language of
universal
love.
tongue. It's a universal
Yes.
tongue. That's why they
Yes.
could understand that what they were saying in this new tongue, because the new
That's
tongue was the language of
mhm.
love.
That's why I feel like babies can understand each other even though they just cannot talk.
Yep. Yep.
That dogs, animals, anything. Like they just can't talk, but they just live in life.
Yep. Yep.
You can't even understand the word that they saying, but they know each other what they saying. They know exactly what each other is saying. And they having the time of their life. They are having the time of their life.
Yes, yes, yes. So Chrissy, our lives will be like this now. I'm not talking to we're not giving energy to those who not ready to transform their life.
Yes. Yes.
If the message does not resonate with you, there's nothing to talk about.
Right.
That's what I'm on now. That's the wavelength I'm right. That's the wavelength I'm riding now. Like if it does not meet you, you know, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
Oh, if you don't have any questions, I do not have an answer. Hello?
Oh, we only giving our energy to the wanted, right?
Mm.
We're only giving our energy to the wanted. Look, I was supposed to be getting up off of here.
Now
Hey,
you added
Keela.
somebody else.
I know,
Oh my
right?
God.
Hey, Keela.
Hey, can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I just want to say, well, I guess I manifest your change because I was like, oh, Toy, you got a lot of patience. I was like, I would drop them so fast.
I'm telling you, I was just thinking about that too. I'm talking about click in the middle of their sentence. No
And it's
mercy.
like they want to, it's like they really want to come up to learn and see what you really know. but they
Yeah.
don't go about it the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like, let people
Yeah,
have their path, but I'm just not going to be a
yeah,
part
but
of
they
it.
be very, very curious. But I also want to mention the book, Think Yourself Rich.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good book. And I put another one, How to Change Your Life by Ernest Holmes.
Oh, I
Now,
didn't see
that book,
that one.
yeah,
Okay.
that book changed my life.
Oh, Ernest Holmes. Yes, I didn't know he wrote books. I seen his videos on YouTube, but I didn't know he had a
Yeah.
book.
In the book, he say you must change your thinking as the universe affirms your thoughts and your words. So it talks about once you change the way you think and the words you use, your life's going to change. But it's a really good book.
Man, like they all
Yeah.
just saying the same thing, right?
They
Well,
are.
somewhat, but in a different way.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like that though. Yeah, you must have me on speaker.
Um, I'm on my tablet, so yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I can hear the
But
feedback.
yeah, but that's all I wanted to say. Have a good night, okay?
Oh, thank you so much. I'm sure people are gonna find the benefit of those books. You have a good night as well.
I'm gonna read those books, but I'm gonna head out. Have a good night.
Okay, yeah, and me too. I'm about to head out too. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining me on this late night and this early morning. Get some good night's sleep. And I'll chat with you guys later. Good night.